This reading is on the recent UFO landing in Palmdale, California. So, yes, the UFO in Palmdale, California is a real event, and it's also another ancestor show of force. So, if you haven't seen the video I just did on the UFO in France, it's related to the same war. So we're at war. This is going on quietly behind the scenes. And the ancestors are showing me here that this is another show of force. I'm also picking up the word invasion, and I'm picking up the word guard and block. And I'm feeling like this landing was a show of force to position the guardians to be able to control the movement of opposition forces. And these opposition forces are within the government in America and outside of America, specifically focusing on California. So it would be the government there that is being notified of this show of force. For those that don't believe or not aware that the ancestors are here, and that they're going to start restricting the movement of government officials, is what I'm feeling, sensing, and seeing in the energy. They're showing me that this show of force is them coming out of hiding. So remember in previous videos that I've been doing the readings on these UFOs, the ancestors have been telling us that they've been cloaking themselves. So these vehicles that they're using are interdimensional vehicles. They're military vehicles. They're ancestor vehicles. So when I say ancestors, I mean that they are our ancestors that have come here through the stargates. They've come here from other worlds, and they've come here from higher dimensional spaces and places. And the energetic frequency of our planet is rising and opening the stargates and making it conducive for access in and out of our planet. And so, although our ancestors, these battalions that are here, have been here for several years now, going on a few years, they've been cloaking themselves, mostly in the clouds, coming in and out of our dimension. And now they're saying consistently that they're going to start uncloaking themselves and landing. So this is the second landing reading that we've done, and it's the same energy. They're saying we're uncloaking and we're landing. It's a show of force. So people have to understand that we're at war, even though it hasn't been publicly announced. Those who know. And also we're under martial law, for those that don't know. But those who know. It's a different kind of martial law. It's better because the ancestors have been here for years, keeping the peace and putting out counter moves for the moves that they already knew that these negative, toxic controllers that have been controlling the earth plane disorderly, out of harmony with the universe and out of alignment with our ancestors, they knew what they were going to do. And remember, if you go back and you look at the UFO in Brazil reading, they told us that they were using time travel and that these drones have been going back and forth through time to help us. So in this reading, they're showing me that they're uncloaking, and that they're in the process of balancing the energy again, keeping things balanced, keeping the peace, showing force, and guarding the border, I think. I feel like they may be guarding the border. Hold on, let me see. Yes, this is a peacekeeping unit that's landing here in California, uncloaking themselves, protecting the border, because something is in the process of going down or getting ready to go down. Or they're about to put a halt to all this illegal border crossing. There's a lot more here. Hold on. They're showing me that it's important for us to keep in mind that these forces are very benevolent, extremely benevolent. We can't even imagine how harmonious and how benevolent our ancestors are. They come from, I want to say, universe that is so orderly. It's extremely orderly, synchronistic. Everything happens in harmony and in alignment with the divine creator. And these beings that are showing up now here, they are very much allied with the universal laws, and they enforce those laws. And even though they are guardians and they're guarding California from invasion, and they are able to do that efficiently, they want us to know that they're extremely benevolent and that they don't want to harm anyone. They don't want to harm anyone, but they're here to do their job, and it's going down. We're about to see it go down. I'm picking up the sense that other governments are sending people across our border that mean us harm, but these people are not really that big of a threat, but they are a threat, but they're just regular people, really, is what I'm seeing. But they're coming over here in force, like very strong. And the ancestors are going to, I'm hearing meet and greet. I know this sounds wild. They're going to meet them and greet them. And they're going to, yeah, that's what they're saying. They're going to offer them support services. They're going to help them. They're going to provide for them. They're going to do some type of humanitarian work here. This is so interesting. So that's going on. There's something else coming here, like some kind of big, abrupt situation. I'm going to look into it. But before I get there, this is the main essence of the ancestors landing there to protect the border. But this show of force, the ancestors want us to know, is a humanitarian effort. It's given with the greatest compassion and benevolence, because the ancestors don't see these people coming across the border as enemies. They see them as their children. Okay? That's the difference between our real true ancestors that are in harmony with the universe and in alignment with the Most High, and then the ones that got left behind down here that knew better but have been generationally corrupting the earth and keeping us in slavery and robbing us and killing us and destroying us. They're in trouble. They're actually in trouble. And I think the ancestors are about to explain that to us. Hold on just a minute. So they're showing me that as people come into our country and they get meted and greeted by the ancestors, at first they're going to be afraid. And they're going to think that they're in trouble. But actually, they're going to get their needs met. Their dreams are going to come true. Like this is not the first reading I've given like this. I think the other reading that we did was the new quantum financial system. So check that out. If I remember, I'll put a link to that in the description here. But in that reading, the ancestors said that one of the things that they're doing and have been doing, and why they're in other like underdeveloped countries, you see them more in South America a lot, is because they're really suffering down there, the people. And so they're tending to them first. They're really under the biggest threat. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't hear about, but people are hurting down there really bad. And so the ancestors said that when it comes to the new economic system, the poor and the people that are hurting financially are going to receive assistance first. And it looks like they're going to be in for a big surprise. A lot of these illegal immigrants are going to be taken care of and provided for unexpectedly.